Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Ringside Power Hour Podcast. I am the pastor of podcasting. I am also the guy in the pulpit. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Reverend Everett Hall McNeil.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Back from the lunatic asylum that they call life. It's the great one, the Suplex Samurai.
Well, as weird as this fucking shit is, we got this motherfucker acting like he's Spanish. You know who the fuck I am. I am the greatest of all time, and that is the badass flapjack of podcasting, Double J.
Stepping out of that double wide in the corner of Sunset and Vine once again. Ladies, give me a call. The resident rock star, White Trash Zero, Hollywood hero, Hollywood Michael Paul.
And please, leave him out the friend zone.
Swipe right on Twitter.
Look,
or is it Twitter? Tinder.
After the week Hollywood's had, he needs some loving, man.
Lost some groupies.
He lost Paige this week. He got friend zoned.
I can't win.
His room got flooded.
You can't friend zone a rock star. It's just
his heart got flooded.
Well, apparently you can friend zone a rock star.
I'm
it's real
doing
simple.
Something wrong.
Send them
something
one
wrong.
word text and a picture.
You can get at me, girls, on Twitter at. I don't know my Twitter handle. Never mind. So
yeah, just
moving on.
Let's move on to some other shit.
Anyway, we have to discuss. We need Patrick Clark to come to the congregation, please. We need to pray for you, young brother, because the dumb gimmick they got you in. They got him acting like a Trump supporter, y'all. Trump supporter.
It's a hometown boy.
What if he really is a Trump supporter?
I don't give a crap. Listen, you cannot listen, people. You can't sit over here and put a guy in a gimmick.
Maybe he's bandwagoning.
For a temporary gain.
They could make Donald Trump as manager.
If you're going to put it, my whole thing is, this is my rant about this. When I heard of Patrick Clark's gimmick, now for those of you who don't know who he is, he's a part of Tough Enough this past year that I think, only
wrestled for MCW, which is based out of Maryland.
Hometown boy.
Yes, he's a hometown
He's from
guy.
DC.
From
Still
DC.
hometown.
Oh, so he's not a hometown guy because there's no fucking way you can count a fucking DC guy as a Baltimore guy.
Okay,
ever.
he's a DC transplant.
Yeah, so
he's homegrown when it comes to wrestling schools. He's wrestled here. He's learned here. He's lived here. That's about it.
Yeah, he's definitely not a hometown guy. That's like saying techno and go-go and fucking house music is all the goddamn same.
That's like saying I'm a Redskins fan, but I live in Baltimore.
Let's cut to the chase when it comes to Patrick Clark. He's in a gimmick that's going to be only for temporary means.
What if this gimmick works?
It'll work, but let's be honest. Let's say Trump does not win. Then where's his gimmick?
Well, you're talking to the
Nobody
number one Trump supporter over there, Hollywood Michael Paul.
Can I say something for a second?
Let's make America great again. Here,
but Vince McMahon is like Donald Trump's like second pick for his running mate. There was an article about it for his like vice president. Vince McMahon.
You know that's full of shit, right?
Yeah, that's
let me tell you,
garbage.
For as much as I hate Donald Trump, because yes, I'm fucking brown, and any person that's fucking of color that likes Trump, you're retarded because he's trying to Hitler our asses.
You were Uncle Tom too.
Trump is really fucking smart. Let me tell you who he's going to pick as a running mate. Paul Ryan. You know why? He pulls all the Republican votes for him. He actually has substance. He actually has something to stand on. Republicans love Paul Ryan. That's how he won the Speaker of the House gig. There's no way Trump would ever go in with Vince McMahon as a fucking running mate, dude.
But do you know how bad that would be for wrestling? How fucking political everything would be?
God.
How ratings would not change at all?
Yes.
Like, it would go from being it was once a great wrestling show to now it's a family show to now it will be a fucking household fucking political show. That would be bad.
That's what I thought was going to happen if Linda won the fucking Senate seat.
But they were butchering her. They were kind of getting at her about the whole, you still, her WWE ties still. So that's probably one of the biggest reasons why she didn't win.
Yeah, but
nobody took her seriously.
Trump is literally throwing all that shit out the window, man. I mean, that dude is basically talks out of his ass, and people like Hollywood Michael Paul like that shit. He's going to bring America back.
Either way, I can't complain because I don't vote. So
now, do you think that when Patrick Clark goes along with this gimmick, that the fans will chant "We want borders"?
Nobody's gonna. Let me tell you something. They basically gave him a gimmick. Hey, we're gonna put you in a Trump outfit. You're black.
Because Vince is good friends with him. I understand why.
No. His gimmick is basically the Uncle Tom Trump supporter.
Call his finishing move the wall to Trump.
I mean, hey man, Patrick Clark, do what you need to do. Do what you need to do to get over. I understand that this is your shot in WWE, but I don't see this gimmick going anywhere after this presidential election. That's just my opinion.
There's been a lot of gimmicks that they wouldn't go anywhere, and they did.
Well, I don't know, man. I mean, you keep saying this is a foregone conclusion. I laid it out to you before. If Bernie Sanders runs as an independent, Trump was going to the White House, bro.
Let's hope not. Anyway, moving on. Speaking of people going places, the WWE is going to Honolulu, Hawaii to do a special event that looks even better than the WrestleMania card.
Now, from what is being said, they're taking the old WCW moniker and calling it Bash at the Beach.
Is it going to be televised, though? That's the thing. I haven't heard a confirmation that it's televised.
There's rumors of it being on network. There's rumors of it not being on the network. So I don't know.
If you're gonna have Shinsuke Nakamura versus John Cena,
It needs to be televised.
that shit needs to be television.
And also you have Brock Lesnar versus Kevin Owens.
That's
Jeff,
something
your
nobody
thoughts on
wants to
that?
see.
Well, to me, I mean, just the John Cena Nakamura match is going to sell. I would buy that if it was just them two on the card.
Yep.
I mean, what is Brock Lesnar getting a free Hawaiian vacation out of it? Because I know his time for this year is over with. So,
I mean, yeah. And he'll get flown out there, too. It wouldn't be no fucking, hey, meet us out there, Brock. No, here comes my private jet. Straight from fucking Connecticut, baby.
Oh, he gets a private jet?
Yeah, he fucking gets flown everywhere he goes.
he gets picked up at his house.
Gets that fucking good ass treatment.
Like a helicopter comes to his house, picks him up to take him to the private plane that he boards and flies.
I ain't mad at him.
I would have that
No.
treatment.
If you was in his position, you wouldn't turn that down.
That's how John Cena gets to events. That's how he got there for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
A chopper?
Yeah.
Look,
Well, I mean, the chopper to the jet to Dallas.
That's a lot of work.
when
Just
you
take the
accomplish
chopper.
what Brock Lesnar has accomplished, you get special treatment.
So I think Cena's house is what, in Arizona?
No,
Is it?
Florida.
Florida?
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this: they
The
also
Bellas.
have,
The Bellas are from
Bella's
Arizona.
Arizona.
now they also have on the card. They also have Asuka versus Charlotte.
Oscar.
Asuka, my bad. Sorry.
Oscar versus Charlotte could be a good match. I would prefer it to be Bayley versus Charlotte, even though we've already seen it.
Are you kidding me? I think Oscar versus Charlotte is awesome, man. Oh my
I
god!
think it's a decent
But
match.
without Ric Flair, man, it's like, all right, like now we're at the point to where they're trying to make Charlotte like she can't hang on her own. That's the story they're going with. Oh, she can't hang on her own. So now they're taking so much credibility away from her accomplishment, saying, okay, well now do it without your dad.
Well, you know, you brought this up yesterday, actually. Why don't you pitch to the people your new Flair gimmick?
My new. Well, it goes a little something like this. Instead of having Ric Flair on screen, you just have his voice. And then you have like this godly light come down so wrestlers can go up and get advice. And so it's like, it's kind of like what they're doing with Bob Backlund and the gay guy. What's his name? Darren Young?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
Darren Young.
AKA
Darren
Rocky
Grady,
Maivia.
man.
So basically what they're doing there is instead of actually having a guy on screen, you could just walk up to the fountain, drink the fucking fountain, and fucking here comes Ric Flair's voice.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
Nice godly presence.
So you want to turn Ric Flair basically into a godlike figure on
Woo!
I do.
He's
I
not
think it'd be
already-
pretty entertaining.
He's not
actually.
already a godlike figure.
I mean, he is a legend.
Put like
in
some
the
fucking
industry.
voices behind him. Rick, what do I got to do to be great? Lose weight. Woo! I mean, it'd be comedic. I mean, I'm not saying, all right, make it something serious. Make it a good fucking nice little thing for, it's a family show, right?
Almost make it comedic.
Not
Yo, it has to be
not
comedic.
complete comedic, but comedic. To the point to where, like, you get a guy like Zack Ryder who's fucking down in the slumps. That's the perfect guy to start it off with. And he goes up there, he drinks the thing.
What
and
do I
he's,
need to do,
woo,
Rick?
Woo, woo. It's woo! You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think it could work. It'd be a funny little gimmick, but I get it. They're taking him off TV. He's getting drunk. He's getting old, and he's crazy.
So let me ask you this: which match do you think is going to steal the show? I mean, Nakamura and Cena, it's easily to say, but what do you think that?
I think that may steal the show.
That's
To be
gonna
honest
be the
with you. I
show
think
stealer,
that'd be a
man.
really good showing of John Cena. Because Nakamura is a fucking... The crowd's going to go lit the whole time.
Yeah. So who do
Yeah.
they put over for that?
Yeah, who do you put over?
That's my problem. Like, you put Nakamura over because I'm a huge Nakamura fan. But what happens when you defeat Cena? You get Kevin Owens. So, do you let Cena lose and then, okay, so he just lost to a guy that's in NXT, which he did to Kevin Owens, and then got immediately fucking knocked down to the mid-card.
Well, not just Kevin Owens. What about Del Rio? Del Rio fucking beats
Del
John
Rio
Cena. And he's
with
been
a
mid-carding.
kick.
He's been less than mid-carding for the last 6 months.
Well,
Yeah.
It was Bleacher Report or Cage Side Seats. One of the two said there's a lot of people sold on Nakamura backstage. Like a lot of people.
I love Nakamura.
And it
Who-
was-
who cannot be sold on Nakamura?
And the article basically states that if Nakamura goes over Cena, this could be his catapult into like being the next guy, the face of the company, which would be a lot better than Roman Reigns. So
Now, I already know how the Suplex Samurai feels about this, so I want to ask you two. Brock Lesnar versus Kevin Owens. Thoughts?
I don't see Kevin Owens with Sami Zayn or Finn Balor or Shinsuke Nakamura, any one of those guys, okay, now we're talking about a decent match. Brock Lesnar wrestling how he's wrestling now with just suplexes and being very one-dimensional, and I hate to say it because I actually like Brock Lesnar's build-up. The way they built him after the streak was great as a destroyer and all that type of stuff. But the fact that he's becoming predictable, suplex, a bunch of German suplexes, and an F5. You have literally depleted this guy of 2 moves. I'm not going to get an entertaining match out of that. Everybody's saying, well, what about Brock versus Taker? That guy was forced to do different things in that Brock versus Taker match because he was who he was in the ring with.
He still didn't do a lot.
He still didn't do a lot.
A belly to belly.
Yeah, it was still 2-dimensional. We need a lot. Listen, you take Brock's moveset from 2002 or 2003 and have him face against Kevin Owens, I'd be all game for this match. But honestly, I feel like this is going to be a squash match, and I feel like I honestly, now thinking about it, I don't think this is going to be a good match at all.
Before I get into it, go ahead, Mike.
Well, I know Kevin Owens has pushed for this match for quite some time. He is really set on wrestling Brock. He has a lot of respect for Brock. But I got to agree with the Reverend on the fact that Brock's moveset would be limited. And Kevin Owens is a well-respected veteran with a lot of moves to offer. And with Brock just doing the suplexes, and the match is just going to be really stale. And you know Brock's going to go over anyway.
Here's the only thing that I see going with this. I think all they're going to do is they're going to showcase Kevin Owens, like his moveset, what he can do, and I think that's about as far as he gets before Brock squashes him.
But I got to go with that. I don't know if this is where you're leading to. Is that there's no build-up to it either.
This is obviously that's a huge lead up. And how about the fact that Kevin Owens barely wins matches? Like when he defeated Sami Zayn clean, I was like, okay, well he finally beat somebody clean, but guess what? Who hasn't beaten Sami Zayn? Nobody. You can't think of anybody that hasn't beaten Sami Zayn clean. He just loses and loses and loses. So it's like, okay, so let's say he defeats Cesaro clean. What does that mean? Cesaro is not top tier fucking shit yet. I would love him to be. If you want to make something interesting, why don't you fucking put the title on Cesaro and put his ass against Brock Lesnar? That's a fucking match.
That is a match.
That's a something. Why don't you have him go on like a 4 or 5 win streak first, then put Cesaro versus Brock Lesnar? Or if you really want the Kevin Owens match, then you got to make him look like he's going to be able to hang in there, because guess what? He can't. It's not possible.
Well, it's how they betrayed him that he can't hang in there with Brock Lesnar.
I don't care how you portray fucking Kevin Owens' fat ass. There's no fucking way you can ever sell to me he can fucking hang with Brock Lesnar. And are you guys serious? Brock Lesnar can't handle Kevin Owens' skill set? I hate to tell you that fat fuck don't have nothing compared to Brock Lesnar's skill set.
I never said.
That's what I basically just heard from you two.
Hold on. I never said that Kevin Owens' moveset Brock Lesnar can't handle. I said Brock Lesnar's moveset, due to WWE's booking, a bunch of German suplexes in the F5 deal.
Well, that's what they booked him as. But guess what? To say that Kevin Owens is wrestling the better matches, come on, man.
He is. He is wrestling better matches.
He was wrestling better matches.
The
John
Cena matches, the Sami Zayn match when he wrestled Dean Ambrose was actually a decent match. Every Cesaro match he's in.
Why don't WWE get some fucking body that can actually wrestle Brock Lesnar instead of fucking throwing these fucking shitheads in there?
Or if you want to make it interesting, expand Brock's moveset back to what it was.
That goes back to my point of
I agree.
Cesaro.
Me and you have agreed on this for forever.
Or
Cesaro's the only one who can match Brock Lesnar in anything.
Or how about
He's the only
this?
one to make it interesting.
How about this? You got 3 big guys you're trying to push, right? Pick one and throw them in there and see how they do. Because if he squashes them, then that means that there's just no hope for his character, man.
Even Bray Wyatt is better than fucking Kevin Owens. At least Bray Wyatt can he can match some of Brock's shit. But dude, it's not Brock's fault that he's so much better than everybody else. This is ridiculous.
Look. I know you think Kevin Owens is fat, but the dude is athletic as hell.
Compared to who?
Compared to like 90% of the roster.
I don't know a guy his size that can do a moonsault, be agile like the way Kevin Owens is. Look,
Big
I know
Van
you
Vader
think,
was like 400 fucking pounds that did a moonsault, man.
I
I'm
think
not that
Kevin Owens was a little bit more
That
athletic
wasn't a
than
real
Vader.
moonsault. That was a side salt.
Whatever, dude. He was like 400 fucking pounds.
He
Kevin
was
Owens
400
gets
fucking
serious.
pounds.
Like
Kevin Owens is smaller than John Cena, dude, and he's built as a powerhouse.
Hey, I don't disagree with that. He shouldn't be built as a powerhouse. He should be built as a technician who don't give a fuck. He should be like a beer drinking fucking beard having motherfucker.
Okay, that's better.
He should be like a big country gimmick. That should be his gimmick.
If that's his gimmick, that's a lot better than this gimmick.
Right. It's like, oh, I'm a
prize
fucking
fighter?
drunk alcoholic who don't give a fuck.
He's a prize fighter who's never been in one fight. Yeah, that's something to sell.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's his booking that's wrong with him. In ROH, he was great. I said this numerous of times when you guys are like, oh, you hate Kevin Owens. Like, no, it's not that. The way he's booked is terrible. He shouldn't be squashing nobody when he's barely as big as me. I'm not a fucking wrestler.
I mean,
only thing that I'm asking is, this is not the Brock Lesnar trash train that we're just throwing trash at Suplex City. Listen,
you can't.
Of course we can't. My gripe is, like Jeff alluded 2 weeks ago, his moveset needs to be expanded. You're gonna sit there and tell me his moveset is not one dimensional right now. Nothing but a belly to belly.
No, I'm not going to.
I want to see the Brock we saw wrestle Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 19. That's the Brock I want.
Well, you know what? How about you get a Kurt Angle in there with them? Because let me tell you, the guys you're putting in there with them, what the fuck you want them to do? Dean Ambrose. What do you expect to do with Dean Ambrose?
Why don't you bring up Jason Jordan or somebody? Somebody who's like
somebody who can actually wrestle with the guy.
Can actually wrestle.
Come on, Brock and Dean Ambrose, dude. Come on. Dean Ambrose is like the size of fucking Brock's arm.
How about Brock versus fucking Rusev?
There you go.
How about something, dude, other than Kevin Owens? Kevin Owens he's what do you call it? Like, he's the Shawn Michaels era. Like, the class of Shawn Michaels. Like, you put him down there with the little guys, that's what Shawn Michaels was. He wasn't in there with the fucking The Rock, Stone Cold. Like, yeah, he was, but he wasn't considered that kind of moveset.
Well, let me explain. Well, let me tell you this. They had him in there with Sheamus, and that was a little bit of a squash match. Sheamus had a couple of offensive
and that's WWE's
moves.
Fault.
I'm just giving you an example of how they need to book him.
To squash these guys. In reality, Sheamus can hang in there with him.
Yeah, he could.
Yeah, he could.
What happened? Well, what I read that Sheamus hit him in the chest a little too hard, so they had to end the match early. That's what I read. Said Brock was getting pissed off. Oh, wow. It's fucking wrestling. Get over it. Fucking, that dude's such a fucking wine box. It's not even funny. You would think he was a fighter? I can't believe how big of a bitch he really is. And what happens when Kurt Angle does appear on the scene? Is he going to go in the back and get quiet again?
Well, look. WWE needs somebody like hit him in the fucking chest and tell him to fuck off.
Del Rio. You know what?
Del Rio would do it.
Del Rio in there because you know what? Del Rio ain't going to be scared of him because he's actually had professional fights.
Hasn't he done MMA in the past?
Yeah, his first fight was against fucking Mirko Cro Cop.
He got knocked out.
And he wore a mask.
Anyway.
You know WWE's not going to book that. They're not smart.
I'm 100% sure Del Rio.
Why do you think I want to get into this shit? I want to get into writing that shit. I want to get into booking. Because I could turn this company great.
Dude, I've been saying for how long that Del Rio should be fucking more utilized. That dude is fucking athletically awesome. He has. How many of them can actually say they were a fucking Pan Am Games gold medalist, fought in MMA, and yet you would never know that about Del Rio's character? I bet none of you guys knew that about Del Rio's character.
I knew that about his character.
Did you know Del Rio beat Randy Couture in a wrestling match for a gold medal?
I
bet you didn't.
I knew that. That's why I said Randy Couture wasn't that great. I've not been saying this for fucking. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, I'm talking about this was a wrestling match.
When he was younger, I remember.
Couture was actually
when he was young, he was a beast.
Yeah, he was an Olympian.
Speaking of Del Rio, he has backstage heat with Triple H.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah,
who doesn't have backstage heat with Triple H?
Well, apparently
your chest is a little too big, Rusev. You might want to slim down a little bit.
Can't have your chest bigger than mine.
Apparently, the deal is that Del Rio doesn't like how he's being booked. He doesn't like where his creative direction is going. Just like he did the last time he left, leading up to that. It seems like he doesn't like his creative direction.
Well, have you noticed all the foreigners are fucking booked terribly?
Yeah.
It's like Triple H's got a thing against these foreigners. Like the whole Rene Dupree thing when they said his arms were like 2 inches bigger than Triple H, and they had to say it wasn't.
2 inches? Damn. It's a big-ass arm. Triple H wasn't a small dude back then.
Vince McMahon isn't the only racist in the bunch because Triple H ain't far off, bud.
I'm not gonna sit here and call Triple H a flat out racist.
He gets all this heat, but look what he does with NXT. Like every foreigner you can think of in that fucking company has thrived.
Yeah, you know why? They're not directly competing with him.
They will be.
Those are his. That's
but
his.
To him, they're not direct. To him, they're under him.
I don't understand. I don't get that. Here's my thing.
He is pushing slave shit, man.
He is pushing NXT. He's pushing stars of different nationalities, and then you turn around and say, "Oh, he's just making sure they're not competing with him."
They're not. Tell me one time in WWE on the main roster he's let that happen. I told you it's a white slave master shit. He'll let the motherfuckers work for his ass.
I was about to tell you,
he ain't having them compete.
Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, all those guys are NXT guys.
No, I'm talking about the foreigners, man.
Oh, Roman Reigns is considered a
foreigner.
Roman
Reigns is Samoan.
To me, he is. I don't give a fuck if we own like fucking Hawaii.
Wait a minute. He's a foreigner who was born in Hawaii, went to school in America, played college football in America.
He was born in California.
I mean, you're right. I forgot.
Look, from my standpoint, I don't think Triple H is a flat out racist.
So wait a minute. If Trump does win, right, and he's getting rid of all the brown people, right, that means we don't have Roman Reigns anymore.
So I guess it's gonna
Don't
make
worry,
you get out and vote for him.
we'll be right along in that slave camp with Roman Reigns.
Fuck.
What are you saying? They're bringing back concentration?
Bud. No, it won't be concentration camps. It'll be work camps. You know,
Building the wall.
Oh, they just be calling it nice. Yeah. So you guys were recruited to help build the wall.
Yes, Mr. Trump.
Free meals.
free meals every once.
Come to find out, you got to ask for
Tuesday.
a drink.
Speaking of walls and things being put on hold, it seems like Bayley's main event roster push may be put on hold, considering she is the only or one of the few baby faces on NXT right now. Your thoughts on that, gentlemen?
There's no room for her on the main roster anyway.
I think I said this a while back that I think she's going to be great on the main roster. She's going to strive on the main roster. She's one of the most popular divas in the business right now. I don't care what any of you three say.
Can't say divas anymore. Superstars.
It's actually
Women's
women.
wrestlers.
Look, I've said I've already changed my tune on Bayley after. Look, I
I've
know
never-
she'll succeed. I
know
get
she will
that,
too.
but there's no room for her right now.
Look,
And that's where I was getting to. I agree that they already have too many people they can't do anything with.
She'll get lost in the fold.
She'll
Listen.
get lost in the fold because booking sucks. If I was booking, I could make it better. But guess what? I'm not booking, so there's
so
nothing I
why
can
don't
do.
you fill out an application? Because
Vote for
WWE
Suplex
is looking
Samurai
for
to right.
writers right now.
I'll tell you why. Because they want real credentials and they want real bullshit.
Look, you can make WWE great again.
That
I
could
can
be
tell you
my
why
slogan.
they would never ever consider someone like Double J or the Suplex Samurai. Because the minute he fucking runs his goddamn mouth, we're going to say something back to his ass. And you already know Vince don't like that shit. And the minute he tries to pull that billionaire shit, I don't give a fuck.
Make this guy look strong. Well, he doesn't look strong, buddy. What do you want from me?
I want you to make him look
The fans don't fucking want him. What do you want me to write is what I would say to Vince McMahon. And when he goes, well, we got to make the fans want him. Well, how the fuck do you do that? Sit down with me and show me because I tried for the last 2 fucking months.
Try harder.
Anyway,
I mean, have you noticed who Vince has surrounded himself with? Nothing but
Ass-kissing
yes men.
Yeah, yippies. Yip,
All
yip.
fucking yes men.
now let me get back to Bayley. Now here's my thing. I have never had a gripe against Bayley.
Yes, you have.
When?
Like always.
When?
If she was black,
Like
he would
always.
love her.
I don't have a gripe against Bayley. I don't have a problem with Bayley
This
at
goes
all.
back to when the 4 horsewomen were still in NXT. You said, well, I think that Sasha Banks and Charlotte will be good, but the other 2 I'm not sure about, especially Bayley. I don't see her fitting at all.
You
Tell me
talking
I'm
about
wrong.
main? You talking about main roster?
I'm talking about main roster. Go ahead.
Let me put it to you like this: when you look at the 4 horsewomen, and I think now I'm
Who
recalling
are the
what-
4 greatest divas in the business other than Italian Paige?
Oh, without question, I agree. Now you look at the current mentality of WWE booking.
Booking.
You look at that current mentality, and you sit here and tell me, are they going to get it right with Bayley? And you see what they're doing to Becky Lynch with the stupid eye injury gimmick that her eye is pretty much healed.
But
you
to
see stuff like
that's
that.
their way of putting her in a loop because fans like her and making her a super fucking baby face to where they're cheating to beat her, to where the fans just want her to win. But in reality, that shit's gay. They need to understand that, yes, kids might fall in love with that shit, but the grown-ass men that watch this shit do not.
This is what led me to say what I told you in the past. I'm rooting for Bayley. I want all 4 of them to be successful.
But see, Bayley
Even though-
doesn't just appeal to kids. She also appeals to men because of her wrestling technique.
Exactly.
If you listen to an NXT crowd, you would understand.
I do listen. I watch NXT on a consistent
Same with
basis.
Sasha Banks. Same with Becky Lynch. And same with Charlotte. Even Charlotte,
Yep.
she gets cheered and she's a heel.
Yep. Exactly. They're all great.
They are the 4 greatest wrestlers in this business.
That's the
For
backbone
women.
of your women's division right
It
there.
is because Natalia's kind of on her way out. Paige is like really confused on what the fuck she wants to do, and she's like still like out of the loop. So, what do you really do now with Bayley? Leave her on NXT?
where she's one of the highest merchandise sellers, where she's the top woman in the whole division. There's no point in moving her right now.
I don't see a point in moving her either. At least not
I
yet.
agree. Make NXT a brand.
That's what they need to do.
Make NXT a brand. Send either Becky Lynch or Sasha Banks down. That way you can leave Natalya, leave Paige, leave Charlotte, leave whatever one you choose to stay up on this roster. They can be the ones that stay here and make this division great. But NXT's still packed. You still got your Alexa Bliss. You still got the Blanker chick coming in. The freaking all
Carmella, Nia Jax.
Well, I mean, fuck them. Fuck them. I'm talking about like the third generation women that are coming in wrestling.
Nia Jax.
Your
is
NXT division is,
Nia Jax is third generation.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, still fuck her. She
I
still
don't like her.
sucks. Anyway, I'm
Yeah,
talking
but
about
she big
the.
as shit.
But it's been a long
She is
time,
a big
Nia.
bitch.
She can.
So
You got the biggest female heel wrestler in NXT right now,
Eva Marie.
Eva Marie.
Ah, fuck.
No matter how you like her or how you don't, she gets reaction, and that's good business.
Hey, she gets reaction.
And apparently, she's like number 3 on the female division of sales.
What is she selling?
Wait, what is she selling? What
I don't
merchandise
know,
is
some
she
little
selling
fucking
now?
furs, or I don't know. It's feathers.
Well, it must be women buying.
But
They're thinking
No, it's
nice.
probably
Anyway.
a lot of pictures that are being sold for
Let's
lonely
get back to the
guys like
fucking
myself.
point. If you're going to make it a brand, because that's what they're doing, they're basically saying, okay, well, NXT's better than every other wrestling division out there. That's how they're booking NXT now. That's how the commentators are talking. That's how everything is leading up. So if you're going to make NXT a brand, then you got to send at least one of those 2 bitches back down there.
Who would you personally send?
Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch.
Becky
Or-
Lynch isn't
Unanimous.
quite,
I would
isn't
send Becky
quite
Lynch
main
too.
roster material.
Or Sasha Banks, just because they may need that.
Yeah.
They may need that
Sasha
extra.
Banks will work.
Because I feel like Becky Lynch can fit in both ways.
yeah,
Okay.
but she's never going to
But
get pushed
Sasha
on the
Banks
main
is better on the
roster.
mic, so I think that would be a better fit down there.
Now, speaking of women, we have Paige that there's a rumor that she doesn't want her contract renewed, and she's trying to, I guess, there's a rumor she wants to go back home to
It
England.
better be just a rumor. My
Who
girl
knows,
can't
man?
leave.
I don't know.
Well, you know what? WWE ain't going to let her just go like that because she's big on fucking Total Divas, and that's their thing. I can't see them just letting her go.
I can't watch her go. No.
Look, I mean, eventually, at some point, I mean, let's be honest. They haven't used her quite well.
They need to put her back on TV is what they need to fucking do. And every time they put her on TV, it's some stupid
TV.
fuck.
She actually had a full match with Charlotte.
Did she?
Yeah, she won.
She actually won.
The first time in for how long? Forever. Like fucking WrestleMania. She shouldn't have been the fucking goddamn pre-show tag.
You're right. Lana
Fucking
should've been-
match.
Lana should have been wrestling whoever she was pissed off at.
Yeah, that should have been a singles fucking match. Fucking
Brie,
WWE,
right?
you stupid
Yeah,
fucking goddamn booking.
Tell us how you really feel.
How come they never did anything like with Brie's retirement?
Because she's still not retired yet. She still has one more match.
Does she?
Yeah, she's supposed to be wrestling at SummerSlam.
I thought
Who?
she was like completely
I thought
retired.
she was completely done.
Brie Bella.
I thought, wait a minute.
He doesn't care about Brie Bella. You know that.
Time the hell out. You mean to tell me she has another match at SummerSlam? I thought WrestleMania was done. It could put over.
You were pretty happy about that, huh?
I'm not happy about that. What is she still doing in the ring? Have your babies with Daniel Bryan and let the real divas go in there and do their business.
She's not a real diva.
Superstars.
That's right, superstars.
Oh, yeah.
Women, my
Women
bad, sorry.
don't belong in the kitchen, Everett. I see you're on the Donald Trump shit too.
I'm
aren't
not on
you?
no Donald Trump crap. I'm
You-
sorry. I'm
Pat-
not Uncle Tom.
Look,
sorry.
man, I'm just saying in general that the women's division is probably the best that it's been ever.
Oh, that's not arguable at
Without
all.
question.
I mean, there's question. There's still like the 50s and and when the women really they weren't like mainstream because they were still meant to be in the kitchen, but they were still real. So it's
In my humble opinion, they're better than the TNA knockouts in the mid 2000s.
They need to get Patrick Clark like a manager who comes out and like makes them sandwiches and shit.
Ain't that would
finger
be,
food. Well, then Alexa Bliss has this gimmick where she's like I think they're calling her like the generation killer. Like she's wrestling all the third generation women wrestlers and fucking defeating them and shit.
Is she not with Blake and
like
Murphy
that.
so
anymore?
they're
like
calling her
legend
the
killer.
generation killer.
I love
You know
Alexa
what?
Bliss, man.
You know what? I'm really liking this mean streak they got with Alexa Bliss.
I'm really liking her
liking it.
ass.
It's a nice ass.
I don't think she's
It
great.
is a nice
I think
ass.
she's got a really nice ass.
Real nice ass.
And I hope she stays for a long time.
But you know who doesn't? You know who just got
Just so you can
fat?
stare at her butt.
Who got fat?
Dana Brooke.
Hey, I like
Your
Dana
girl
Brooke.
Dana Brooke.
Man,
this
she's
girl
got-
went from like super ripped to fat.
Oh man, the lips on that girl, man. Like she could.
She's pretty
Man.
athletic though. I will say she could do
Dude,
some
she
shit.
got big.
Oh, I ain't gonna deny that.
Good God.
She got the lips that can open the door on the Uber car to
Hey,
button
lay
Dick
off
Town.
the Twinkies, girl.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Just say no.
lay off the Twinkies. Come over to Hollywood. That's what we need to do.
Yeah, so you can put them in the friend zone and you can really feel
No,
bad about
no,
himself.
ain't gonna friend zone me. I'm gonna show this bitch how we do it up in Button Dick Town.
I don't think she's gonna appreciate you calling her.
Where's
her,
that at?
It's on the corner of Lonely Boulevard.
Lonely.
Oh.
Somebody Google
No,
that.
I'm saying,
That's
where's
off her friend zone exit.
Yeah, yeah.
They closed that exit now.
Oh no, no.
there's
That
a
exit's
detour on
that
that
exit's
exit?
good to
You
go.
gotta take the detour and to make it weird.
Anyway, I don't know.
Look with Dana Brooke. Are they building her to be the next Chyna before the downfall?
She's not going to be a
not
Chyna.
First of all, she's not. Look, they're booking her as if she's got these big muscles and shit.
She don't even have them anymore.
She used to be a bodybuilder, but really, right now, she's like
Just
a
fat.
poor version of Beth Phoenix.
That's where I was going. They were trying to make her like Beth Phoenix.
That is who
That's
she's
what
like.
she looks like. The poor version of Beth Phoenix.
I used to think Beth Phoenix was okay looking, but not. She's no damn
But
broke.
hey, you know who's been a surprise to me? It's been Emma.
Emma's showing a mean
Emma
streak.
has been pretty well on the main roster.
I still think she's not all that coordinated.
No. I'm not
But
talking.
she's
No,
good.
I'm not
Zach's
talking about
helping her.
like
Zach's
her
helping her.
wrestling is limited,
Uh-huh.
but what she's been able to do with her gimmick is pretty good.
It's a lot
It is
better than that
great.
quirky dancing. It was entertaining.
I like that
but-
quirky
Dude,
dancing.
that straight bitch shit. They
Shit
needed
works.
some heels, man. They needed some. The women's division needed some heels.
That's what I like about Alexa Bliss. Is she plays that bitch card so fucking well.
I didn't think she was going to with the whole how she was like blowing the glitter and shit before. I didn't think she was gonna be able to play that bitch.
She flipped that script and sold that. I was like, yes.
She
Give
went
us
from
more of that
fucking covering
attitude.
up her ass to showing that ass.
Yeah, oh my god, that shit is
Good
so
job,
nice.
Alexa Bliss. Keep it up.
We salute you, NXT writers.
Talking about women's wrestling, I read Trish Stratus would like to have a comeback.
Oh, I bet she
What
is.
would be the
She's
point?
trying to jump onto the bandwagon, ain't she? She was like, "Oh man, this is way better than when I wrestled.
She
I'm
only
gonna
wants-
botch that
but
stuff."
She only wants to wrestle one person.
Who?
Yeah. Who?
Sasha Banks?
Fuck no.
Charlotte?
No. Ronda Rousey.
What a
Why-
dumb
wanna-
bit. What's she gonna do? Botch the
Wait a
fucking
minute.
armbar?
Why would you guys think so small? Dude, any of them girls can't
I'm
fuck
sorry.
with Trish.
Trish, let's
Not on
be honest.
popularity level. Maybe
Well,
Charlotte
well,
coming up.
You don't think none of those divas could handle Trish's popularity?
No.
I think that they already surpassed her popularity.
I don't think so.
Sasha,
Don't none of these kids know who fucking Trish Stratus is. You hear her reactions when she comes out now? Nothing. Just like Lita.
Oh no, Lita.
So sit your botchamania ass down and stop trying to come back. You in
Look,
your 50s.
listen.
that would be just like Conor McGregor calling out somebody that's not Floyd Mayweather. Why are you gonna? If you're gonna go do it, you're not gonna call out no fucking.
If you're going to call out fucking Ronda Rousey, you might want to make sure you got really good medical. Because, for one, you can't hang with a bitch that strong. For two, you're not even coordinated enough to wrestle that bitch. So if it was a fake match, you're going to hurt yourself.
She's gonna get hurt.
She's definitely going to get hurt.
Oh, on the subject of women's wrestling.
God, here we go.
Stephanie
ahead.
McMahon did an interview recently with TMZ.
Oh, I thought
Got
it was
him.
somewhere else.
Yeah. And she basically said, they asked, will Chyna ever be in the Hall of Fame? Stephanie McMahon said she will be in the Hall of Fame. They just don't know what year they're going to put her in yet.
They should just have Sonny go out there and fucking induct her.
I'm sorry. Oh, that's the last thing we need. Jesus Christ.
Why? Sonny's in the Hall of Fame, and guess what she did? The same thing as Chyna.
And she sold her Hall of Fame ring to do the porno.
My thing about it is with this.
You about to bring Melina out there with her too, right?
Let's
Melina
be,
and Sonny just fucking induct.
can we just kill the elephant in the room and just say this? And I hate to be the bearer of this kind of news, but
It's
if
not like
Chyna
it.
if Chyna was still living, she would be like
Of
banned
course
from the
not,
Hall of
man.
Fame.
Of course.
If she was
But
still
when
living,
people die, guess what? Shit changes.
yep.
It all had to deal with Stephanie. That's all it was. Like,
Well, no shit.
Yeah, you can't dump that.
China
on
was sucking Triple H's
it-
dick
it was
before her,
Stephanie.
and she's mad.
If Triple H never got with Stephanie, Chyna would be in the Hall of Fame already.
What is up with Triple H and bitches with big shoulders, man? Like,
Yeah, you're right.
that's
Did he
weird.
ever? I wonder if he got with Nicole Bass. You remember Nicole Bass?
Isn't that the one like Kane raped or something?
No, Nicole Bass was the big ass manly looking bitch. Like,
Look,
Oh yeah,
Triple H has got himself a little fetish with chicks that are kind of like dude like.
Listen. Look, we've heard two different sides about this China, this Triple H, Stephanie crap. My whole thing is this: you end up who you end up with for a reason. And let me be honest. Let me tell you
and
something.
that money was a good reason.
I know, but listen,
real
that
good
money
That
was
success
great.
was an
But look-
amazing idea.
But everybody wants to, now that China's passed away, everybody wants to kind of ease off, okay, we're not going to bash China. Everybody's trying to forget she was bitter.
I never bashed her anyway, so
I'm not saying I personally bashed her
Yeah.
either, but she was bitter, dog.
she reached out to make amends to WWE numerous times. Triple H wouldn't take the calls. McMahon wouldn't take the calls.
Dude, honestly, I think she just suffered
Would
from
you take the
CTE,
call if
man.
you had her constantly harassing you?
Because she went and did some porn and stuff, and she went to call and make an amends
No,
about.
I'm talking about harassing. You didn't see a video where she was kind of bashing Triple H, bashing Stephanie?
what about
in the
when they were
past?
promoting bitches in Playboy and shit? So that was cool. So because of your promotion, what you did to them, you
That
put
was
them
the
on that
Attitude
platform?
Era.
But what is the difference between Playboy and fucking porn?
On the Stone Cold podcast or the podcast,
you're still soliciting your body, right?
When what was it? Triple H was on that podcast with Stone Cold. Austin asked if Chyna would ever be in the Hall of Fame, and Triple H goes, well, if my kids got on the computer and Google Chyna, they're gonna come and find out she's
that's
in a porno.
That's why you should have parental search
exactly.
on, motherfucker. How about that?
Exactly.
And that's not true. If you type in Chyna right now, her porn doesn't just pop up on the first page.
No,
what might? I don't know. I never looked it up.
If they've
Dude, you guys know how many actresses that used to do fucking porn? There's like big time Hollywood actresses that used to do porn that they kind of conveniently forget about. So who cares? She did fucking porn.
Let's not put her in the Hall of Fame for movies because she did other movies that she wasn't supposed to do. Like she's being smited for her own fucking profession. Like she's trying to make money. She's trying to make a living. So she goes and does something.
What choice does she have? She got blacklisted from wrestling. She literally got blacklisted by the fucking by Triple H and Stephanie. What the fuck was dude? Plus, I think she had issues too, man. I think she had brain issues.
I mean, she had a tumultuous, I feel toxic relationship with X-Pac at one point.
If you induct Chyna in the Hall of Fame after her death now, it means nothing because it's just going to be a publicity stunt. That's it.
I mean,
I agree.
Can you say the same thing about Warrior? Because Warrior was still living.
They let Warrior make amends.
Yeah, they let him make amends.
They wouldn't make amends with Chyna because of Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie McMahon does not like Chyna.
Really, who you guys are forgetting is fucking Macho Man.
Macho Man.
Oh, yeah.
Macho Man got fucked for fucking Stephanie, dude. That was bullshit. He didn't get in the Hall of Fame for all them years because of that shit.
He did what?
Oh, you don't know why
There's a big rumor about Macho Man having sex with
Macho Man
Stephanie.
never fucking got in the Hall of Fame because he fucked Stephanie?
I don't believe that rumor.
That's 100% true.
I think Chris Benoit should be in the fucking
That's
Hall of Fame.
100%. Dude.
Chris Benoit will never be in the Hall of Fame.
I know he won't.
You can't
But he should be.
what he supposedly did or didn't do and then his wrestling career. It's completely two different things.
I agree. He belongs in the Hall of Fame.
Mike, I get where you're coming from, but when there's evidence that backs that you murdered your wife and your child,
you can go back in the case. I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
There's stuff about where they said there's no way Chris Benoit could have hung himself the way he did. That he didn't drink and there was beer cans all over the place. And there's Chavo Guerrero went on the record saying he was on the phone with Chris Benoit before the murders. There was a knock at the door and the phone went dead.
So what you think? Is somebody set up?
Even if the case was fucking what it was.
It doesn't mean for his career.
That has nothing to do with his career, his wrestling career. Okay, even if the publicity is bad.
I mean, are you taking O.J. Simpson out of the Hall of Fame?
O.J. Simpson. Let me tell you something. You can have. Let me tell you something.
I'm just asking a legit question.
Plus, it could also be summed up to his fucking concussion problem. Too.
I was about to say
yeah.
A lot of this is from CTE, which, dude, I'm telling you, Chris Benoit. There's been guys that have said he literally couldn't even order shit off the menu because he couldn't fucking see. He couldn't remember shit.
Well, he had the brain of an old, 99-year-old man.
Mick Foley says stuff where there's times he'll forget what he's doing. He'll forget what he came in for.
Look at all the bumps
and
he takes.
You spoke about Chyna, about her having something wrong with the head. Her brain's going to.
That's what I'm saying. I think she has CTE too, man. I think CTE is a big reason why these dudes turn out the way. Like, you know why I think OJ killed his wife? Because he was a running back. I think he fucking has the same shit.
So you thinking he got a couple one too many hits and then
dude, a running back in the fucking 60s and 70s where, let me tell you,
Anything
helmets were fucking pretty norm.
And then just taking us back around to you talking about Chyna doing her porno in the Hall of Fame thing. Like you said, Sunny just did porn and she hasn't been taken out of the Hall of Fame. Jimmy Snuka is on trial for what, murder or something like that?
Yeah,
and he's still in the Hall of Fame.
You know what is funny about all that? How they're not bringing Vince into how Vince tried to have that shit covered up, and the big reason why he wasn't charged in '83 was because Snuka was one of Vince's biggest stars, and Vince paid for that shit to go away. So don't give me the fucking moral high ground and tell me that Chyna can't be in the Hall of Fame because she did porn. Because you got fucking murders and shit.
Look, I'm not sitting on some high pedestal saying, oh, let's make sure Chyna never steps foot in a WWE podium again.
Why is porn such a bad thing anyway? Because of religious zealots? Let me tell you, sex has been around forever. It ain't stopping. Women selling that shit ain't stopping. I don't see what the problem is.
Superstar Billy Graham went on the record and said the Hall of Fame means nothing anyway. You get a ring and there's no physical Hall of Fame. It's just a publicity stunt for WWE to get money.
Well, they are doing a physical Hall of Fame in Florida sometime.
No, they're not.
Soon.
It's been rumors been shot down. The
Like
site they were talking about gone to something else.
Yeah.
Damn, they don't have their own.
It's
They
a
don't actually
rumor.
have a Hall of Fame.
Nope.
They should put that shit right at the
There's
Performance Center.
There's a Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, but not WWE
Yeah, I
Hall
know
of
the
Fame.
Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame's in New York.
There's one in. I forgot the other one. There's another one too.
It's called a Mat Club or whatever.
So let me ask y'all this: if Chyna goes into the Hall of Fame, who do you think should induct her in?
Not Triple H.
Obviously.
I think X-Pac should do it.
Oh,
I think
say-
honestly,
I don't even think X-Pac should do it.
honestly, I think the whole DX should just fucking induct her.
Including
I think it
Triple
should
H.
be all of them.
Triple H and Shawn. I mean, you can't like fuck.
Not just that. I think it should be Triple H, Shawn, Razor, Kevin Nash, X-Pac. I think all of them.
No, I don't think Kevin Nash and Scott Hall should be anywhere near it
Why?
because they weren't.
They're a big part of why she got into all the drug shit.
She was like with the click.
That's how she got in.
That's how she got in, man.
I get it, but her career, her on-screen career, was with DX in her early days. So I think DX alone should be inducting her.
I think
Like
it should be
Jeff
all of
said.
them.
I don't
They
think it
all
should
had
be
a
the
hand
Click.
in it.
I don't have nothing against Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, but I don't think it should be the Click.
I don't know. I think that she should be. I've been thought she should be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, she way should have been past her time to be in the Hall of Fame.
Speaking of people who are trying to get in the Hall of Fame or not, there's one person who we know might not even get on television, depending on how his contract goes, and that's Ryback.
I don't see what the
Ryback
issue
had
is.
this list of demands that was ridiculous. They said, and like WWE was going to release him, and now the rumor is they're just going to let his contract run out and not put him on TV.
I would.
Okay, so I'm glad Ryback's not on TV, but some of his gripes are right.
The equal pay.
No, fuck no. That's not right.
I think Jim Ross.
I hate to tell you, equal pay doesn't exist.
Right. Right.
Superstars always make more than you in every fucking thing you do in life. That's just the way it is. I understand. The only part I kind of agree with is what he said was he can't determine what his outcomes are going to be. That way, that's why he don't think it should be fair the way they're paid. So, okay, if that's the case, I mean, there's got to be a better solution. I mean, equal pay is never the solution.
This goes back to my couple podcasts ago when I said that champions should be paid as champions, right? Tag team champions don't make that much money compared to fucking like WWE champions and intercontinental champions. And even intercontinental champions don't make a lot of money. That's just saying like, well, hey guys, this is the fast zone to making more money. I think that in order to make something great, you have to pay these guys. That way you can keep guys in the tag team division. You don't got to always split them the fuck up so they can make more money. Pay your fucking champions and your first contenders for one. The guys that are making you money, the guys that are selling you merchandise, give them fucking profit of it.
You got to make the belts prestigious. And I agree. That's why you should. The holding belts should be an accomplishment. Is it really an accomplishment anymore? It's fucking run of the mill. Whoever's got it this week really don't mean shit.
It goes back to what you all said before with the championships. You should just make them shoot matches. That they shouldn't be predetermined. That way, it's based on your
You can't do
caliber and
that
your
anymore.
skills.
There's no way you could do that anymore. But there's got to be a better. I mean, equal pay is not the solution. Ryback's got a little gripe because he's right. He's being booked against Kalisto when she probably could squash the shit out that kid. And he's losing, but he's getting paid as a loser when it's not really his fault. He can't determine his own outcome.
So let me ask you this: if this was this probably be like an obvious question, but if this, let's say, if Ryback wasn't given these grievances, and if let's say it was, a Dean Ambrose or a Seth Rollins, somebody that's a viable, intricate part of the company. If this was a John Cena out,
It would
there
have to
griping.
only come from John Cena. He's the only one that can make that who can make something like that work. Because let me tell you,
I know he's got pull, but I'm
John
just saying.
Cena gets paid his worth even when he's not champion.
right.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm not saying he shouldn't be paid what he has. Like
No, I'm
if
saying
if he's making $1 million a year, give that man his $1 million a year.
No, the thing is, if for them to ever be on solid ground for like something like what Ryback was saying, John Cena would have to be the one to come out with it. John Cena is the only one who could push something like that. Because he's the king of the mountain. For everybody else to get anything, he has to get paid first.
Now the thing is the machine going to pay their top guy?
They'll pay their
'Cause,
top guy.
I mean,
they just won't pay the rest of the guys.
that's
just like they've
the
always
thing.
done.
Now how do you guys feel about Ryback's current stand? I mean, do you care if you never see him on the WWE again?
I really don't care if I ever see him again. I mean, I don't know. I never thought he was a good fit anyway.
I don't care really at all.
I'm not a Ryback fan at all.
I mean, he showed us recently he's got a little bit more than what he's been showing, but
I mean,
I feel like he was just trying to piss people off. He was like, "Oh, this is what I could have been doing the whole time."
no, but he's Just,
well, if you're doing that, then that tells me that you've been doing lazy matches up until that point. You had a WrestleMania pre-show match and you ain't go all out, but you go out on a lesser pay-per-view.
And he just said, "Fuck your booking and watch this."
Some guy on the internet told him to go to TNA and call himself Ryborg.
My thing with Ryback is this: I don't understand how you have you show all these moves at Payback. Where was this consistently for the several months?
Several months. He's been in WWE since 2004.
I understand that. Where has this moveset been?
Yeah, but he wasn't nothing special until like 2010.
He wasn't even special then.
He still had his big wrist where he was like doing his little move to 3 or 4 people at a time.
Yeah, but
he was on his Goldberg fucking triumph.
Man, just give him his walking papers.
The WWE had something with him in the beginning when he had the streak going, and then they sold it off for CM Punk.
It's feeding time.
Oh, this has nothing to do with Ryback. I'm sorry, but I just thought of it because you were talking about his Goldberg thing. So a fan asked Batista on Twitter, "Will you come back and fight Goldberg WrestleMania 33?" And Batista said no, and the fan said why, and Batista said because that's fucking horrible. I wouldn't even want to see it.
I don't want to see it either.
By the way, are you going to pay him enough money to do it? Because let me tell you, he makes pretty good change now.
I mean, he just got booked. Film. This is some film news, but Blade Runner 2, Batista has been called up to have a role on Blade Runner 2, the sequel to Blade Runner that came out in 1982, if I'm not mistaken.
You talking about the one with LL Cool J?
No, I've never seen it.
The sequel to Blade Runner?
Isn't that the one with LL Cool J?
No.
LL Cool J's playing Blade Runner 2? Please don't do that.
No. I don't think. No, I never heard that.
Well, what fucking?
Fuck no. Harrison Ford played Blade Runner 1.
Harrison Ford, 1982.
So what fucking Blade thing did fucking LL Cool J play in?
Are you thinking of the
you
Blade
might
the
be
Vampire
thinking
movie?
No, it was a fucking like some kind of like gay skate show.
Oh, I don't know.
Nah, I don't know.
It's
what
like
you're
a
talking
gay
about.
skate movie.
Blade Runner is one of 2 of Ridley Scott's only watchable movies.
Roller derby?
You're talking about Rollerball. Yeah, that's something totally
Rollerball.
different. You're talking about Rollerball.
Was LL Cool J in that?
Yeah, he was.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
Come on, Everett, nothing?
What?
You agree with me? Ridley Scott's only made 2 watchable movies?
What are the 2 movies you thinking of?
Alien and Blade Runner.
American Gangster was good. With Frank Lucas. Look, that's just my personal
American Gangster
opinion.
was
I ain't
good.
saying you got to agree.
I never heard
American
of that.
Gangster was decent
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
with Denzel Washington and
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
All right, man.
now.
But let's bring this back around.
Anyway, with Ryback's contract,
Fuck him.
He's just go away.
See ya.
See ya. Dump him.
well, it's unanimous here. There's also been an interesting, speaking of people with gripes and complaining, there's also been an interesting video that popped up of Ethan Carter III and Drew Galloway, formerly known as Drew McIntyre, the chosen one in WWE, who recently got released after having his stint with the 3MB from, I think, a couple years back. They got together at an Evolve event, and they had a shoot promo, mainly by EC3. What were your thoughts about that? This is also tying in with Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano, and the Drew Galloway match that they had at Evolve. Ethan Carter interfered at the end and then cut a shoot promo talking about WWE and talking about being a champion without the machine.
Dude,
so what were your thoughts about that?
Ethan Carter
Was it a
sucks.
shoot?
Was it a TNA publicity stunt?
Was it a work? Was it a shoot?
I
It's
don't know
involved.
what their gripes are. Drew McIntyre got all the chances in the world to show that he sucked.
Ethan Carter,
And Ethan Carter
sucked
just
anyway.
plain out fucking sucks.
Well, he couldn't win a wheelbarrow race, so why
So-
could he be a wrestler?
I mean, what
know,
the
right?
fuck? I don't know what he's shooting about.
You know, Drew McIntyre wasn't what you said 3MB, right? How the fuck did that? Why were they so popular?
I don't know. I don't think they were all that popular. I,
I don't
think
think
people
they were
just
that
like to
popular.
laugh.
That's what I'm saying. Like people like were all into
They were
them.
just funny.
Like they couldn't pull a New Day though.
They were comedic relief, man.
Let me tell you something. What the social outcasts are currently in WWE is what 3MB was a couple years ago.
Why has Heath Slater not been released?
Why is any of those guys not been
Why is
released?
Curtis Axel not released?
Well, Curtis Axel can stay on.
Well, look, man, when it comes to whatever the shoot or a work, whatever it was, if it cuts into a storyline, fine, it works. But if it doesn't, dude, then his little fucking pipe bomb he was trying to cut was terrible.
It makes no sense.
Wasn't that great. Like, you're upset because you failed. Fuck it, you failed. I understand that WWE does hold back great talent. And we will get into that when our top 15 most hold back.
But let me tell you,
He's not great talent.
EC3 wasn't great talent.
I don't disagree. I think Drew McIntyre was good, but I don't think that he, like you said, he got his opportunities. He was in elimination chamber matches. He held Intercontinental Championship. He held U.S. Championship. He had a shot at the tag team. Well, he might have been a tag team champion.
I don't know who he was.
I mean, what is he upset about?
I mean, you had the chairman come on and storyline handpick you. Like, that's how sold they were on you.
So, I mean, I don't know. I don't have much to say about it. Like, if it's a work, cool. If it's a shoot, it wasn't that good.
If it's a shoot, it makes no sense because where does it go from here? Nowhere.
Let me ask you this. Now, do you think, would you want to see EC3
No.
in WWE at some time?
Never.
Nope.
Why? I think he's terrible. I thought he was terrible in TNA. So
Also, I got some interesting news. I just threw this in here. We also got Austin Aries in a tag match against Blake and Murphy at an NXT event. It's going to happen on live televised. And apparently,
I think it's going to be Bobby Roode.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I was about to ask you. Do you guys think this is Bobby Roode's debut?
Don't think. I know it's Bobby Roode. It's got to be. There's no. Who else can it be?
There's a really slim chance, but I think it's Bobby Roode. Who else is it? Unless they really want to just shock us. There's only one way to do that.
Who?
Kurt Angle. I can't think of any. Or maybe Big Abyss. I wouldn't mind Big Abyss coming.
I heard Big Abyss is campaigning, man.
I know he is. He's crazy. He's nuts in the head too.
Campaigning
he's
for
he's
what?
like really like a lawyer
congressman
and shit,
or
right?
some shit.
Yeah, he's like.
He's like legitly campaigning for congressman or
He
some
went to
shit.
like school for like a lawyer or some shit.
Yeah.
He was like a lawyer and shit.
Yeah, well, he's like legitly trying to run.
Well, we were talking about people with gripes and everything. You already know this. WWE approached Scott Steiner with a Legends contract. He told him to go fuck themselves.
Good.
Good God. That's
Offered him a Royal Rumble win,
Royal title run.
a World title run.
And he said,
Off-
go fuck yourself.
Offer him 5 minutes with Triple H by themselves.
They
I'll
offered him a
take it.
world title run. And he turned it down.
He told me, he told him to go fuck ourselves. He hates Triple H.
Like I said, give him 5 minutes with Triple H alone. I bet he'll fucking take that shit.
Well, it was probably flawed. It probably wasn't ironclad that he would get a title run. Like, it's probably like, well, let's see how the fans react, like the Bautista thing.
But the fans would react good to Scott Steiner.
Maybe.
Well,
we
not
don't
the
know.
younger
Fans
talent,
suck.
not the younger
Yeah,
talent.
So-
these fans are flaky these days.
Come on, man. I still think, come on.
These fans are
I
flaky these
think
days.
I
You
would
can't
be
put
great.
Scott
You
Steiner
have
in a
Roman
PG
Reigns in the ring,
environment.
and then
The
the,
big
siren
bad
goes
booty
off.
daddy.
Fucking
Come on,
Big
man.
bad booty daddy.
You say you're the guy? Well, you know who I am.
Me and my freaks. Come on, man.
Let me put it to y'all this way. I don't see Scott Steiner in a PG era doing this. I don't know.
That's another guy who
He
should
does-
be
he
in the
thinks
Hall of
it's gay,
Fame
he
someday.
He said if he wants to
won't be.
appeal to fucking kids, he'll go visit his nieces and nephews.
He has no chill. He tells how it is.
I mean, that man will say, let me tell you something. If nobody else will say what they need to say, bet on Scott Steiner. He will say exactly what you're thinking.
Triple H should have put him over back in with the Ruth of Aggression or whatever.
Triple H should have put a lot of people over back in 2003, and Booker T was one of them. Scott Steiner was one of them.
I would love Scott Steiner to come back. But we all know that's that song and dance, man. You come back, you put somebody over, and then you're just fucking that guy.
I mean,
you're the Dudley Boys.
If he
Chris
came back,
Jericho.
dude, you put him in a mic against fucking Roman Reigns, oh, it would be nasty.
So I'm saying he's
The
out
world's
there.
fucking greatest arms. Come on, man.
But-
All this shit he could do.
But who I would like to see him wrestle is not only Brock. I would like
Brock.
to see Brock.
It'd have to be Brock.
Well, to me,
Size they
yeah,
match
the poll,
up.
I think
Skill
that
wise they match up.
Well, I don't know about the skill size because he's a little big and old now, but I think he's a little far off. When he was younger, I think he'd beat the shit out of Brock. But let's beyond that. I'm saying the fucking promos that Paul Heyman could put on with him, but the guy that I really want to see him against is John Cena, because John Cena can hold his own.
Man,
On the mic.
a fantasy match, man.
Guess what John Cena is? Everything he thinks is gay. So I think it'd be a great fucking feud. I'm not even lying.
Yeah.
I mean, it does make sense because Scott Steiner does hate everything about this era. So, and John Cena is this era.
Yep.
That makes total sense.
Now, I saw an article that talked about, speaking of John Cena, I saw an article that's saying basically consider the beginning of WWE's new era as John Cena's farewell tour into retirement. Yeah. How is that a fair assumption in the article?
He's like super successful now.
What is he doing?
A farewell tour.
To start with Nakamura?
Nakamura should end it. He loses Nakamura,
So it's gonna end in like 2 months?
leaves. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I mean,
I'm not okay with that.
I think it might be sooner than later because Cena, he was hosting Live with Kelly for like a couple weeks and shit like that.
Oh, he does his own show. He's in movies.
That dude's mainstream now, man.
I just watched him in Sisters the other day.
He's hilarious as the drug dealer.
Uh-huh.
With the
oh,
big
is
ass
that what you
tattoos.
sent me on Snapchat?
Tattoos
That
on his
shit's
fucking-
hilarious, man. He's rolling train wreck. Yeah, I love it.
So do you think now? Let me ask you this: do you think this is the WWE?
Oh, he's gonna be in Daddy's Home too. By the way.
Oh, okay.
He's done, dude. His ship has come in and he's taking that bitch.
He's like financially set. He doesn't need WWE.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that are just super fucking smart with his money.
Yep.
He invested in all kinds of shit.
I mean, plus his charisma bodes well on TV, man.
Yep. He's
So-
a household name.
Dude, he can easily take over fucking any of the talk shows and he can make a run at it. He can
Maybe
play in
start
any
his own.
movies.
Start his own
Why?
show, start his own podcast. People will listen. You think? Let
don't
John
even
Cena
need-
start his
You
podcast
don't even
right
need
now.
to do
But
that.
I'm saying that's not Kelly and Michael live. That's not GMA live. Dude, come on, man. He can do that. He's that good. He can do
That's
shit
not
like
American Grit. That's not fucking multi-million-dollar movies. That's not fucking.
I'm saying at this point, and this comes from somebody who's never been a big fan of Cena. Anything that man wants to touch, it'll turn to gold, and people will listen.
He gets to
So
touch
he
Nikki
should just
Bella
buy
all the
TNA.
time.
I wouldn't even do that.
I'm just joking. Anyway.
that. Well, if you got 50 cents, you probably could buy it right now.
Yep.
No, I heard it went down quarter.
You know what the kicker is? You got to pay all the wrestlers are fucking past due paychecks.
What I don't understand is how do you not pay your
They're
wrestlers?
wrestling for free.
How do you not pay your wrestlers?
Easy. They didn't have the money.
Hey, Paul Heyman did it, but his guys were loyal to him.
Look, I understand. Oh, that's Paul Heyman, ECW.
Dixie Carter
You're talking about Dixie Carter, who doesn't even know how to. Looks like she doesn't even know how to run a hot dog stand, let alone
Panda.
a whole entire wrestling
Was it
company.
Panda Energy or whatever? The Carter's owns TNA, and like they won't even like fucking financially back it.
Would you put money into that train wreck?
Fuck no.
Okay, sometimes you, at some point,
Panda
man.
Energies let that shit go forever, dude. They haven't gave them money in like 2 years.
Listen, if I'm constantly giving you money and I'm not seeing a profit, I'm gonna stop giving money. What's the point of investing in your company if I'm not seeing a profit or if I'm not benefiting something off of it?
What's wrong?
There's no point. It's
you mean
pointless.
Dixie Carter couldn't find investors who were going to let her stay in charge? Imagine that.
If I was an investor and I saw how you were running your company, I wouldn't let you stay in charge either. It's a bad business move.
I went on record on this podcast before we went on. Well, I went on record before we went on the podcast, rather. Toby Keith wants to buy it.
I guarantee you Dixie Carter wouldn't be in charge.
And turn it into a bar and grill.
Well, you know the sad thing is Toby Keith's got a better shot of running it than Dixie Carter.
But
That's the sad part about
David Arquette's going to buy it.
it. He probably run it better than
Makes
Dixie
Buff
Carter
Bagwell's mom the champion. Let Scott Steiner buy it.
TNA can't afford no more talent. I mean, WWE can't afford no more talent. They're already releasing fucking
Well,
everybody. So
It's at TNA. Their episode Saturday didn't draw any viewers, so they're not putting it on TV.
sure didn't.
There was no publicity.
Let me guess why.
for it at all,
EC3
nothing.
and Drew McIntyre were on that card too, probably.
So were both of the Hardys.
Yeah, Matt Hardy's done.
Oh, he is done.
He got hurt a month ago.
Did he announce his retirement?
He has an injury that he can't come back from.
No. There goes that Hardy Boys reunion.
I don't want to see a Hardy Boys reunion.
Whenever you see Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair leave something, it's for a reason. And they were getting paid a lot of money to be there.
Whenever you see Hulk Hogan leave something, it's because he already buried that shit in the ground. The only way he's leaving is if he gets fired.
Eric Bischoff left, said it was a sinking ship.
It is a sinking ship.
Yeah, there's no point to go on.
They tried everything to get ratings.
You gotta give it to her though. She held on for way longer than anybody gave her credit for.
Man, she should have left. She should have gave it to somebody else when there was still a chance to revive
You
it.
brought in Eric Bischoff, a guy who was leading WCW when it was beating WWE. Instead of letting him help you behind the scenes, you just gave him an on-screen character. Like, if you would have let him help you backstage, paid him enough to do it, you could have been fine.
It was a bad business.
Look what he
move
did with
all around.
WCW.
She should have kept Jeff Jarrett aboard, man. Jeff Jarrett knows how to fucking run some wrestling.
His Global Force is doing pretty well.
Yeah, Globalforce doing well, but guess what? TNA's out the door.
Yep.
Well,
the sad
TNA
part.
was thriving too when Jeff Jarrett was there.
That's what I'm saying.
The
She
X
should-
division was great.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She should have left Jeff Jarrett there instead of fucking making him leave.
Well, in that case, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another edition of the Ringside. Yeah, I had to switch it up. Power Podcast. Ladies
we're
and
all
gentlemen,
Mexican now.
this has been another edition. We want to thank you for listening. Once again, you can also see us on our website at ringsidepower.com, also on the gram at Ringside Power. We're also on YouTube, where we have not only podcast episodes, video-wise, we also have our top 15s. Check those out as well, and exclusive pay-per-view reviews.
In the near future, look for our Off the Rope segments. We've introduced it before. It's going to have a new feel to it. We're going to be getting to those in due time. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. We really appreciate it.
Well, this has been another edition. Until next time, everyone.
Fuck
See ya.
you.
See ya.